What's up, everybody? Tristan here from Florida Moto Talk, and well, let's just get right into it. As most of you already know, I crashed the Monster Christmas morning because, you know, there's nothing else going on that day, so I was bored, figured I'd liven things up a little bit. So, yeah, I went out for a ride because there was no traffic, and pushed my luck and had an issue. So I'm going to try to figure out how to... Crap. Alright, still getting used to the Insta360. Didn't know I could not turn the camera around while recording. I'm sure I can, I just haven't found it yet. So, yeah, I guess I should probably begin with how it happened. So I was... as I said, out riding Christmas morning because it was nice and cool, there's no traffic. Well, to be honest, it was cold. I debated all morning whether or not I should go because it was so cold, but ultimately decided to go for it, and if it was uncomfortable, turn around and come back, or just do my typical route. So, yeah, basically went through the whole ride. You know, the first corners I hit typically are a big roundabout that's in town, like a big wide radius one. Took it very easy through there and had a couple slides, but nothing concerning. As the ride went on, I got more temperature in the tires and I got a little more comfortable. And I was just coming off that Sunday at Jennings, where I was just absolutely flying on this thing. Couldn't do a thing wrong. Couldn't have gone offline if I wanted to. I mean, everything was just happening exactly as it should be. So, anyway, at the end of my route, I come to a turn where I can either go left and I hit 3 roundabouts in a row and then make a U-turn and hit the 3 again and then go home, or I can go right and go home. And for the last 2 or 3 months now, on my Sunday rides, I've just been turning right and going home because I knew I was pushing my luck in the roundabouts. But of course, I was feeling good. Bike felt good, so I went ahead and did the roundabouts. Basically hit the 3, no problem, and then I did a high-speed blast down a straight before making a U-turn, and then another high-speed blast back. And in the first U-turn, I lost it. So I'm probably going to put a picture of the crash site up now. I don't have any video of the crash. I didn't have the camera on the bike. So when I go into those U-turns, they're pretty tight, and to make them more interesting, I stay in the outside lane. Because if you used both lanes, you could basically straight line it. I lean off the bike to the left side as I approach the roundabout. And then I kind of just push the bike right to do the start, and then I push it left pretty aggressively, to be honest. So I think between the 2 high-speed blasts and all the cold air I blew on the tire, plus this tire has like 3 half track days on it now, so I don't use warmers with this bike. It has been heat cycled quite a bit. I took a picture right before the ride, and you could see all the bluing on the tire of all the oils coming out and stuff. I think I asked too much of it. As soon as I started leaning left, it folded right away. So basically, just slid on the ground. I'm watching the bike slide, and I'm looking at the bike going, please don't jump the curb, please don't jump the curb. And the bike, of course, jumped the curb. Once the bike jumped the curb, I started worrying about me hitting the curb, because that's how you break legs. But I stopped in time, basically picked the bike up, checked it over, got it rideable, and rode home. So, my injuries are pretty minimal. My ribs still hurt. This is now Sunday after Christmas, so it's been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's 4 days after the accident. So my ribs hurt pretty bad. My wrist hurt really bad on the ride home, but that kind of went away. I've been wearing a brace for the last couple days, but just to support it, but it's feeling a bit better now. So yeah, overall I'm good, couple bruises and stuff, but nothing to write home about, no road rash whatsoever, but we'll get into why shortly. The bike, on the other hand, did not fare quite as well. So I completely lost the entire left rear set. Luckily it broke at the rear set, so I don't anticipate any major damage to the bike here. The chain guide broke off. To be honest, I can't even remember what it looked like. The chain guard that protects the swing arm is still there, but the guide broke off. So I may get another one of those. Swing arm obviously is scratched, but nothing horrendous. The back wheel and everything look straight to me, but I will double check that a little closer. A little scratch on the frame up here that I literally just noticed while sitting down. Motor doesn't appear to have made any contact with the road whatsoever. So that's a positive. I'm gonna put the shift rod back on there and see if I can get the bike to shift, because it won't right now. I just rode it home in the gear it was already in. I believe third. I think it was a 40 to 50 mile an hour accident, I believe. So the exhaust took a whack. Little bit of scratching back there, and it got pushed in a little bit, but not bad, and hit the plate, so it kind of scuffed the carbon there too. That can all be rubbed back. Of course, the expected bar end clutch lever did what it was supposed to and snapped off where it was supposed to. The tank cover popped, so I broke that. So funny enough, I was already planning on getting like Chinese plastics since I've been riding it on the track just in case, but oh well, already did that. So I've got some Chinese plastics on the way. Forks look good. The Evotech fork sliders I put on here definitely did their job there. You know, the tubular frame, everything looks good, doesn't look like it made any contact. The big issue I have is that. So, and that is a Marchesini forged wheel. So not the cheapest fix in the world. I rode it home, and the first corner I got to, I felt that thing, or I felt the bike didn't feel right, and I was worried I'd busted the forks. But turns out it was the wheel, and I hope only the wheel. So we will go from there. So the question now is, what does my future hold? I don't want to say for certain, because motorcycles are a tough subject for me. It's honestly like a drug, and I get twitchy when I can't ride for a few weeks, let alone a few months. So that's why, even though I know better, I've been riding a bike on the street. Much like why I won't buy a dirt bike is because I know I won't be able to behave myself. I have now proven to myself that I can't behave on a street bike. I knew better than to do the roundabouts. I knew I had a heat-cycled tire. I knew it was cold out. And I still did it anyway. So, you know, 2 months, 3 months of good judgment calls, all the roads in just a quick second there. So, I'm thinking I'm going to be an adult and stop riding on the street now that I have the means to go to the track. Thinking. I'm not committed to that yet. I mean, you can see by how much I cleaned up the rear tire and stuff. I was pushing, and it was 50 degrees and cloudy. So it was stupid. I didn't feel like I was pushing. Everything felt very comfortable. Everything felt like I had more to give, but sometimes the equipment doesn't. So, man, when I bought this bike, 6-7 months ago, I would have sworn I'd never get rid of it. And the rear set was doing its job until I hit the curb, and then, nothing can prevent that. So yeah, I would have sworn I'd never get rid of this bike. I absolutely love this thing. I've never had more fun on two wheels than I do on this bike. It is just an absolute hooligan. It is the perfect amount of power, perfect amount of torque, perfect amount of weight, perfect seating position. I mean, the suspension is sublime. Those last two sessions at Jennings this previous Sunday were just incredible. Definitely the most fun I've had on the track. But I think I may need to be an adult and move on. I've toyed with the idea of making this a permanent track bike, maybe racing it. But if I do that, then I'm going to put clip-ons on it, and I'm going to put a fairing on it, and I'm going to do all these things, and then it's just not going to be a monster anymore. And I don't really want two Ducati track bikes. It's just a lot. Maybe in the future I'll get another one, but for now, it's just too much. So, I'm thinking I may, I'm going to put this back together and everything first and see how I feel then. But I may end up selling this and picking up a cheap 600 track prepped already, because it's so expensive to do it yourself. And then maybe go do some club racing with John and Alex. I'd like to maybe race a twin, but these days with the Aprilias and stuff, getting an SV650 is just asking to have your ass handed to you. And like I say, John and Alex are racing 600s, so if I'm going to do that, I may as well pick up a 600 myself. So these are all just thoughts for the time being, but it was this crash was entirely on me. I was asking for it, and I got it. I knew better, and I did it anyway. And I got away with this one. You don't always get away with them. So, I can't be compromising my career or anything else with silly accidents and breaking bones on the street. So, anyway, that's where we stand right now. My ribs are still hurting, and I worked the last 3 days, and as much as I tried to do light duty, I was still throwing tires and stuff like that, so I need to rest this weekend. So I was thinking about doing it, but I'm not going to start stripping the bike down today. I'm going to hold that off for now, but overall, assessing it just now, the carbon front mudguard is in one piece and not even scuffed, which the previous owner told me he cracked one just changing a front tire. So that's a fragile piece. So obviously those front fork sliders did their job. Overall it's pretty minor. So I got away with this one. Shit happens. I buy them to ride them. I don't buy them to look at them. And whatever I decide to do, man, I think this bike will probably forever be the most fun I've had on two wheels, but that's exactly why I can't be trusted with it. So we'll see what happens. A lot can change. I'm a very fickle person when it comes to motorcycles. I have a lot up in the air with my life right now, outside of motorcycles. So we will see. But that's what happened. That's the update on that. That's the bike status and kind of what my thoughts are. And you know, if I start racing too, that's more content for you guys in the future. So we will, we'll see how this goes, but I guess I'm gonna sign off for now, and we'll get a script down video in later, and then I'm gonna try to do a crash gear review because my gear held up really well. So I'm gonna call it for this one. Thanks guys, peace.